New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Boys and girls, you got Laura Styles, you got Rosenberg. I'm Ebro. It's Ebro in the morning. H.E.R has touched down on the program.
You got her.
Young lady, you live in Brooklyn, don't you?
I do, yes.
And this is our first time talking to you here. Well, I've
Yes.
talked to you before, but it's our first time here.
Yeah, it's my first time.
Now, you've put out how many projects now?
How many
Albums
projects?
and EPs?
I mean, just
4?
EPs. Yeah, pretty much about four EPs.
So on purpose, you didn't want to come talk to us because you were like, I live down the street. I'm going to get popping, and I'm going to come see them after I win a Grammy, and
You
that
know
way they
what?
can't do any funny...
Listen,
business.
listen. I'm here now. That is all that matters. I'm here now.
No, but that was kind of part of your approach, right? Like
Absolutely.
You've taken on more of a public facing, like you used to basically have your back to the camera. I mean, you would completely hide your face. You would, in photos, you would literally cover your face.
Pretty much. I mean, keep it about the music. And now that, enough people fall in love with the music, I don't think it matters at this point what I look like or what I do with my face. It's about the music. And yeah, here I am now.
And what made you do that? Because you...
I mean, we've spoke before, but we focus too much on, the superficial things, and, with social media, it's always about the looks, and it's always about all the clicks and all the stuff that's happening right now, the gossip. And I really just wanted to focus on the message and the music and what I have to present in my art. And that's what it really was about.
You also were, at a young age, performing also.
Yeah.
So was that also a part of it? Was kind of you had already experienced being in the limelight a little bit as a child star, and it was kind of like I know what that feels like, and it's superficial, as you just kind of pointed out.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it being a child star. I mean, I guess people kind of
Child
knew
prodigy.
me. Man, I don't know. Thank you. No, I guess from, like you said, from a young age, I was performing and doing things, but just because I love music, it was out of my love for music, whether people knew me or not. I was, performing, and then the next day I'd be on the playground in school. So it was never about popularity or people, saying, oh, that's so-and-so. Like, it was just me doing what I love. And that's what I wanted to continue to do. And I felt like the best way for me to present even this honest music as I was coming into being a young woman, as honest as my music is, as personal as it is, it's kind of hard to be like, hey, like, this is my diary, here you go. So I thought that hiding my face and just releasing this music anonymously, it was easier for me to be honest, and it was easier for me to navigate and figure out who I was and what I wanted to present. And I felt like for me and the people I want listening to my music, I wanted them to connect to my music, and my message and feel like, oh wow, this is my diary. That's what it became. But in the beginning, it was just honest music.
So what came first, the philosophy or the name H.E.R? Because H.E.R obviously goes perfectly with that philosophy.
Yeah, no, it was definitely came from the story, the story of me saying, like, I'm never going to be this girl, I'm never going to do that, I'm never going to whatever, fall in love with this guy, or, deal with all the high school stuff that we deal with. And then I ended up being her, ended up being that girl. And it's always that deep for me. You know what I mean? So a lot of people say, like, sounds like you have, a bunch of exes and you've been through so much. I'm like, really? It's just simple high school girl stuff. But
that you didn't want to fall into, and then you
right,
did.
Exactly. And I'm very emotional. I'm a Cancer, and it's that deep for me. So
I did think that part of your story was really dope, because when I remember I first got introduced to you because of Rihanna had posted that her that angelic video of her hair flowing in the wind to your song, and I was like, who is that? And I remember like looking it up, and I'm like, oh, dope. And I remember me and a couple of friends like looking you up, but I thought it was super interesting that I was like, oh wait, she's not new. I mean, I guess the H.E.R is new, but she's not new as an artist, because she's been here before. She was like a child star at the beginning. But did you ever connect with Rihanna after that?
yeah, I saw her at Coachella. But yeah, she'll slide in my DMs every so often, and yeah,
That's so
it's kind of
dope.
crazy.
She giving out free makeup. She hooked you up. You got that
She
Fenty?
actually did.
You got plugged on
Yes,
that Fenty?
I definitely got some Fenty.
Did you get what's the other one? She got the draws. What's the draws called?
Oh no, I haven't
the,
got that one yet. The
Yeah.
Savage.
Lingerie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fenty
Didn't
Savage.
get the underwear
yet.
pack in the mail
Didn't
yet.
get done with it.
You'll
waiting
get
for
it.
that.
Yo, Riri, she wants the draws, kid.
Wait, no. That sounds crazy. So what was
Yeah, it
your
did sound nuts, didn't it?
the child prodigy talk and you like appearing on the Today Show as a child? What was your sort of ascent into music? What was the like earliest stuff you were listening to, and what were you doing as a performer when you were a kid?
I was listening to a lot of old school music with my dad in the house. We would listen to like a lot of Stevie Wonder like concerts and Prince concerts and Eric Clapton, Alicia Keys was one of my favorites. Like I sang karaoke at home because I'm Filipino and that's what Filipinos do.
Talk to
you
'em.
know, you know that's what they do. They
Had the
sing
karaoke
karaoke.
machine?
Yes,
Wow.
the Magic Mic.
Wow.
Yeah.
All set.
Official, official.
We're
yeah.
going to get into some lumpia talk and some chicken adobo
There
in a
we
minute. I want to know
go.
what you're
I
getting
just
into
went to
there.
the Philippines actually. For like,
Really?
yeah, I was there for like 24 hours. I had a show in Jakarta, and then I just ended up visiting my family. But those are my roots, you know. And they listen to Journey and Whitney Houston and Mariah
Shout out to
Carey.
the Pinoy posse out there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Facts.
So that's really what I was listening to as a kid.
So everything essentially.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. And then your first, what was the first like big performance you have any recollection of?
I don't even know. I did so much as a kid. It didn't even occur to me like how big everything was. I was just like doing it. You know, I did Showtime at the Apollo, and I did. What else did I do?
Do you have memories of that or just pictures?
I do. I have memories. I think back to those days a lot, but they made me who I am.
How you were 11? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So your
9, 10,
parents
11.
were full on from the very beginning, though, because you know
Absolutely.
how they can let you sing in the living room, but it's different when they're taking you to the Apollo. Like when you end up at Radio Disney, like that's big.
I mean, they definitely supported me from day one. Yeah.
I've noticed your guitar game has gotten stronger.
Thank
You've
you.
been working on that, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
You've gotten
Thank
more
you.
aggressive with it too, I think, right?
Yeah,
more
yeah.
solos.
Oh yeah, you know, got it. I don't know. It's just.
I mean,
like,
you was borderline / Guns N' Roses at the Grammys. Like,
Thank
I mean,
you.
you was.
I guess it was what makes me different, you know, and I love to be different.
I love it. I mean, and I think it's something. I mean, you know, seeing an R&B artist with a guitar, right? A black artist with a guitar, you know, a mainstream artist, a woman with. I mean, there's so many things you don't get to see the guitar. Like like in, when you think of Prince, he always made sure the guitar was a part of. And I know you're a huge Prince fan.
I am.
When you decide to write, and I think you produce also a little bit too, right? Arrange vocals, and how do you go about that process? Is that something that you do all alone? Do you work with people?
It depends.
Collab? How's it go?
I love to collaborate with people. I definitely think, some people that praise like I do everything myself. Like there comes a point where you want to elevate and you want to bring people on your team that are going to bring something different or help you learn something. And that's why I respect people like Drake. Always surrounded by hip,
Drake.
young.
Write
I love
that
Drake.
down, Drake. She
You
loves
know what?
Drake.
Why is that worth writing down?
No, but
Drake.
it's about elevation. So I love to collaborate with different producers like DJ Camper. He's super dope. Swag is like my big bro, and he's a producer. And they kind of help me with Volume 1 and Volume 2. And I mean, it's about the vibe for me. I have to work with people I can talk to. I can share my stories with, and we get into these long conversations sometimes, and that's how the music comes.
Drake. You know Drake?
Yeah, I kind of do.
The homie?
Yeah, low key, yeah.
Low key.
Just trying to make some music together.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Drake, her collab?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Already cooked up something?
No, not yet.
She's putting it into
on
the
way.
universe.
Oh yeah,
She's
the conversations
beautiful. She
are
doesn't
happening.
have to. It doesn't have to go that far to get Drake's attention.
know
Somebody that's
what?
talented, right? Drake knows. He
But
knows.
Drake's usually very early too. He has a good ear for what's
Drake reached
He
out to you. Or
does.
you reached out to Drake. How did it go?
Okay, I went to his show.
Okay.
Because I knew some people that were working with him. I went to his show and we finally got to meet. And he was like, "I'm actually a really big fan of your music. I want to do something with you." And I said, "Yeah, let's
Amazing.
do it." But he's been on tour. I've been on tour.
All right. So I'm gonna shut up and not ruin it. Okay.
Yeah.
And
You
wait.
talking
Thank
about
you.
Drake, period, may have already ruined it. The second you say
It's
the
okay.
word Drake, it
It's
goes
okay.
left.
It's
She'll be
okay.
fine, but I mean, you just gets worse and worse. I mean,
It does, right?
no
Why
matter
doesn't
what
he
you do.
like me again?
Because you're obnoxious. I feel like I don't have an answer. And Drake's sensitive. I mean, let's be honest. Was Drake wearing the vest when you met him? The weird tour vest?
No.
Why'd you do that? We're trying to we want the
You're just making
collaboration
it
to
worse.
happen.
Me and Drizzy are good. I'm allowed to make fun of the tour.
How are you
know
good?
what?
You making fun of him, and I'm not good.
Because him and I are good, so we can make jokes like that.
Hey, it's no beef. You know, it's all love.
I
It's
mean,
all
no.
music.
It is beef.
No,
All
it's
right,
not.
all right.
Look,
That's
as long
not
as it's
me.
not with you,
Right,
that's
as long as
all
it
that
ain't with me,
matters.
listen.
No,
Okay.
you're good.
Your beef
You're
ain't my
good. You're good.
Wait. So you, I know you said you're living in Brooklyn. Where were you born?
The Bay Area.
Vallejo, Northern
Born in
California.
Vallejo.
Vallejo,
Right.
where the
You know,
Yayos never stale.
You know what I mean?
And stayed there up until all the way.
I mean, I started coming to New York when I was like 14 when I started recording, but I've kind of officially started to be there when I was like 17 years old.
And did your parents always navigate management for you, or when did they figure out someone else to bring in to help?
Oh, at a young age, when I was 10, 11 years old, you know, they're like, we don't know anything about the music industry and how it works. Like, let's figure this out. But, you know, we all kind of learned together.
And as you went through the teenage years, this has been something that's come up with other women in the industry, did you have to have your moments of fending off creepo potential managers whose motives were unclear?
No, and you know what? That's what I'm so thankful for. The fact that I met Jeff Robinson, MBK, even Suzette Williams, like MBK Entertainment kind of came, and it was like the perfect situation for me. And I didn't know it when I was a kid, but you know, a good management artist relationship, it takes time, and that happened. Like,
And Jeff
I had
Robinson's
the time.
resume is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Alicia
incredible.
Keys. That's
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so you were
stuff.
good to go from early on, which
Yeah.
is, you got saved some major scars that a lot of people don't necessarily.
Man, I brag about it all the time. Like, I have the best team in the world. Like, it doesn't get any better. And that's what it's about. Some people forget. Like, you see the product, but you don't see the process. And your team is the foundation of your process and getting to where you need to go. And they've embraced me since I was a kid, you know, and figuring out who I was, patience and, you know, development. He believes in artist development, which is a rare thing now.
Yes,
Well,
patience and artist development is not common
Definitely.
anymore.
And it's also an amazing time, right, for black artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I heard your song on Z100, right? Pop top 40 station.
Crazy.
And these guys know, and I talk about it on the radio a lot when it comes to black artists, right? Like, you know, when you look at artists that have been able to have mainstream success, right? They're either a certain complexion or a certain type of sound or a certain gimmick when it comes to black artists on the top 40 stage, which is why I brought up you having a guitar and playing an instrument and not just being like the big entourage of dancers. And no shots to anybody that's done that because that's great too, but it's different. It's not something that we get to see. A true songwriter playing an instrument who's a black person and a woman. Right? Like, that is remarkable, and I salute you for that.
Thank
You know
you.
what I mean? And congratulations. 'Cause,
Thank you.
I mean, you're just in this mainstream world, people think you're just getting going. I know in your fan base, they're like, why are you guys talking to her like nobody knows who she
Well,
is?
how long? Let's talk about that. How long has the fan base, like your actual like core fan base, existed? You think, in your eyes?
I don't know. I mean, when I was on tour with Bryson Tiller, that was my first tour ever. About a year after I dropped my first project, not even a year, maybe 10 months. And I was
This is a couple of years ago.
This was 2017.
2017.
I dropped my project in 2016, and I was on the Bryson Tiller tour, and we were doing like 4,000 seats, 5,000 seats, and there were some shows, even more than that. Like, we did Radio City, 9,000, and there were some shows there where people, like, you could hear almost the entire audience singing all the words to my songs very early on, and that was really surprising for me. So not even, you know, a month or 2 months after I did that tour, I went on my own headlining tour, and I sold out the entire tour, 2,000 seaters, 3,000
That's still
seaters,
really good for a
1,500.
first.
Still really
Right,
dope.
for my first headlining tour, and it sold out in 10 minutes. Like, not even. It was like 5 seconds.
So you
something
were
crazy.
so you were
like,
way more lit than you even realized.
I mean, you never really know when you're in it. That for me, I don't like read comments. I see stats and streams when I have conversations with my manager. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, just tell me where to go. You know, I'm just trying to make music
You say,
and
tell me when to go?
tell me where to go and
tell
when.
me when to go.
Right,
I'm like,
exactly,
Vallejo,
exactly. Tell me,
sorry.
you know. when I can be in the studio, and it's just make it about the music. And that's always been my focus. And maybe that's a good thing, because then I don't give in to the pressures of having to release something soon.
It's definitely good to not be reading comments as any sort of source for anything for your soul.
Absolutely.
And with you and Bryson on tour at that time, he didn't talk to anyone. You didn't want anyone to look at you. The two of you were just like...
That's right,
Bryson,
his hat was so low.
Bryson's only interview that he really did was here, and we weren't
couldn't
allowed to
film it.
video it.
Yeah, it was just audio.
You weren't
that's
showing
right.
your face. Did you guys just like hang out backstage staring in opposite directions with headphones?
They hid into it.
Everything was dark. Everybody was walking around in the dark with
Always
flashlights.
That's funny. Yeah.
Look, H.E.R, congratulations on your Grammy.
Which
Thank
it
you.
was
Best New Artist.
Best new artist. Yeah.
No, best
Nominated-
R&B album.
Best
Best
R&B
R&B
album.
album.
I was nominated,
Nominated for Best
but
R&B.
also best collaboration performance.
That was with Daniel Caesar.
Yes.
Yeah, I talked to Daniel the other day when he was going through. We'll have him up here at some point. He was going through that internet backlash he just caught.
See, again, you don't have to deal with that. You're not reading comments. You're not doing IG lives.
No.
You're not sitting there just stream of consciousness talking your thoughts through out loud with the world.
We gotta live in, in a sensitive world, and there's so many controversies, and there's so many different
and you know what? That's the
things.
conversation we had, me and Daniel Caesar. I said to him, I was like, you're speaking about it through your lens as somebody from Canada whose parents were from the Caribbean, who, your point of view is very different than groups of people who parents grew up in Jim Crow, segregation in America, race laws.
We all have different perspectives and different views.
It's
and
different, and you're just being insensitive. That's what they're telling you. You don't know what you're talking about, but...
Well, they're not saying in a way where they're like, you're being insensitive,
No, they're
sir.
like,
They're
get
like,
the fuck
cancel!
out.
Right, this is a canceling movement that we have now.
I can't do the word cancel anymore. I had to do a symposium about...
What about unsubscribe? Because I unsubscribe all the time.
Well, you can unsubscribe. That's fine, because that means it's your choice.
That's right.
But I
Right.
did this Michael Jackson symposium thing for public radio the other day, and they were like, let's talk about Michael Jackson being canceled. I was like, guys, let's stop for a second.
Come
you
on,
can't
man.
cancel him.
Michael Jackson.
Why
can't.
would you? I mean, let the man, rest in his grave.
He's gone.
Like,
He's gone. You could say that it makes you feel uncomfortable now and you don't want to listen. You could do whatever you want to do. But canceling, guys, history already happened. No pun intended. Not
can't
the
tell
album.
me Thriller doesn't come on and you don't want to dance.
Yeah, I had that moment on the way there. I said, let me put on my headphones, because I haven't listened to Mike since the documentary came out. I said, let me put on my headphones.
Did it
and
make you
see.
feel different?
I gotta tell, I'm just being honest, and I can get dragged for this. I put it on, I was like, I'm still good. And I believed the documentary. And I listened to the music and was like, I was listening to the demo of Billie Jean when he's like talking through it, and he's like, more headphones, I need more of my headphones, blah, blah, and he's just singing it kind of raw. I was like, hearing this still feels separate from everything else. This just feels like art to me that I still enjoy hearing. But yeah, this is the time we live in. It's cancel time. But as long as you stay off IG Lives permanently and randomly like having tweet storms, no one can
You'll be
cancel
all
you.
right.
That's not really
I
me.
think she has a
Put it in
cover.
your
I'm pretty
Yeah, you're
much
good.
just about the music.
You're pretty
Put it in
good. You're
music.
pretty good.
Just about the music.
Before we let you up out of here, you posted on your Instagram about Nipsey Hussle.
I did.
Tell me about your feelings and your post, and because everybody is reeling. I mean, and trying to navigate their emotions around somebody that we all love.
Yeah, I mean, number
being
one,
murdered.
the thing for me is he's from the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast. So the fact that he was doing so much good for the community and, they had to take him away, it's just, it kind of feels like there's a missing piece, like a, I don't know, the energy is just a little bit different.
A void.
There's like a void, exactly. That's how I feel.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank
Keep
you.
going. We're going to celebrate you. Let's play your new single, Hard Place, right now. She's a songwriter, ladies and gentlemen. She plays an
Songwriter.
instrument, ladies
That's
and
right.
gentlemen.
Appreciate
She's
it.
a real
Any
singer,
other
ladies and gentlemen.
instruments?
I play keys, bass, and drums.
So, instruments.
My fault. What's your balut game like?
Oh, I had it before, but once you
We're
start
not doing that.
no.
What'd you put on it? Did you put hot
Some
sauce?
salt.
Salt.
Yeah.
Just salt,
Salt and pepper.
and the egg.
Yes.
Half born.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
You don't do it all the time. This isn't like daily lunch.
I
for you.
had it once, when you start to see the feathers, it gets a
Too
little
much.
I'm good.
Too much. But your lumpia is strong.
Oh, absolutely.
Lumpia is strong.
Be strong.
Did they treat when you got to the
Lechon
Philippines?
strong.
When you got to the Philippines, by the way, did they treat you like welcome home? You're Filipino?
Yes, there was a sign like outside my auntie's door that said "Welcome home," and it was very sweet. I hadn't been there since I was like 4 years old.
That's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And
it
how
felt
many
like
people you
home.
play for there?
I didn't even have a show.
Oh,
I had
you
a
were
show in Jakarta, and I decided to visit my
Oh, you
family
just popped. It was
for
quick
a day.
popping.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Guys, and she's also doing our Mother's Day show.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Dope. I didn't know that. Amazing. So will we be able to see you again soon before the Mother's Day? When's Mother's Day? May what?
I'm terrible at this.
Remember, it's dads and grads in June. Mother's Day in May.
Got it. Dads get lumped in with grads, and we get a tie, like ties go on sale or something.
That's fine.
May 12th.
May 12th.
Okay.
So I'll see you then.
You guys, give it up for her, man.
Thank you.
New single, Hard Place, right here. Let's go.